Ring light?
it so that we can, I'll give you a link afterwards that you can be able to go over it. Let me turn off my TV here.
Thank you for rescheduling. I appreciate it, Tom. Making the space.
Hold on, let me turn up my volume. Okay, say that again.
I said thank you for rescheduling and making the space.
Oh, no
Truly
problem.
excited.
I'm wanted to show you this first, do a screen share. This is human design. Um, right here is all of the chakras. These are all of the planets at the time of your birth. This is the zodiac. This is the I Ching on the outside. And then this is the corresponding numbers to the different parts of the body. Hello.
Tom, Mahatma, Tom.
Nice to meet you. Now, what we're going to be going over is the human design is sort of the yang masculine side. It's what is this vehicle you're in, this body, in this lifetime, which is some good things to understand. You're a generator, your emotional or your internal authority. Most people think it's your mind. For you, it's your emotions. For me, it's the same thing. And emotions are a little tricky because they're always up and down. So so when you go to make decisions, you don't really know in the moment. You have to really see how it feels. And you know what feels good to you and what doesn't feel good. But to trust that as your decision making authority is a little different. So I want to show this. Oops, the one behind it. Well, this is the scaled down version. What I did is take. Do you understand how the I Ching is made?
I'm not too familiar with it, with the lines and numbers, but the
Okay.
symbol simulators.
If you take 3 coins and you drop them, you're going to get heads, 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 tails, heads, tails, tails, tails. There's 6 possibilities, and that is a trigram. If you do that a second time and create an upper and lower trigram, you're going to have 64 possibilities. That's what those 64 things on the outside of the ring is.
Gotcha.
The Chinese figured out that there were 64 possibilities. Ironically, human beings are made up of DNA, which is 64 points. Musical composition, 64. It's a universal truth that they discovered 6,000 years ago. So I'm not going to give you all of that information because it's like trying to eat an elephant in 30 minutes. It isn't going to happen. So I'm breaking it down to what the entire path is, but just the line number. And that is pretty significant in and of itself. So let me stop that part. And I need my spectacles and to sit up. So what I do is take the whole thing and just break it down into the notes, which was what I was just showing you. You are what's called a third line and a fifth line profile. And I would say it's probably the most challenging life profile. The three is called the changer. And your gift in your life's work is about acceptance. The three is all about trial and error and failure and figuring out what doesn't work. But the good part of that is um, it's very experimental. It's it discovers a lot of things. It's a very dynamic number, a very joyous number, and it can be a jack of all trades because it tries things to figure out what works. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, before we manifested you into our world, we got the act into because I got my human design get blessed upon me maybe 5, 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so I just listened to the audios to learn about the chakras and the different centers, which
Mm-hmm.
led me into studying mindfulness, meditation, and getting more aware. So I definitely, I know that this is my, this is definitely like a great life for me to experiment as much as me as possible. And it's the
Mm-hmm.
perfect time for it. So
Exactly.
having people like you, Tom, that can interpret that, not just for me, but for people that's in our tribe, is necessary.
Absolutely. And the reason I focused on this, I've studied this stuff for about 4 years, and I've done three of the deep dives with Richard Rudd, who's the person who wrote all of this stuff, who studied with Ra, who wrote all of human design.
Uh,
But I noticed it was like 95% white women all across the globe. And I'm like, where are the people of color? Where are the men? It's like there were some people of color from other parts of the world, like England, the UK, from Barbados, a few other people, but very few. So my mission is to sort of introduce this to more people.
Absolutely.
Huh?
That's a good mission, man.
I think so. Um, the wound of the third line is about shame, and shame is healed with humor.
Ah, yeah, I don't find too much shit funny. But people say I'm a funny guy. I'm like, no, I just speak my truth. Um,
Just keep it. It doesn't have to be all serious, you know.
yeah, I'm learning how to have more fun. I'm on this fourth quarter of no anger. So
Good luck with
I
that.
can see when people I can see when people are trying to shame me from a mile away. It's always
Yeah.
exciting.
The shadow side of the third line is that it can be uncommitted, it can be pessimistic, and it can be unreliable. So those are just things to keep in mind. The evolution, as you come down from the life's work to the evolution is usually what is going to be your biggest hurdle in life. And the gift that you have there is delight. We actually just ended this transit where I don't know squat about astrology or how astrology works, even though
I'm
this
not
is a
gonna say
component, but we just ended that the stars in that I Ching. Um, and the third line is about energy and experiences. As you cross over from as you sort of get through that hurdle in life, you come to your radiance, what really glows from you. And you have a fifth line, which I'm a 5-1. So a fifth line is the heretic. It means um, they call it the fixer. We have the natural solutions to problems, but they're not necessarily the solutions that all of society thinks is.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus was thought to be a 5-1. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Mahatma Gandhi. They changed the world because they had a different view of what the solution was. So that's a fifth line. The fifth line's your gift there is naturalness. I would say you're pretty embracing of naturalness. Just
Hey, sovereignty.
and the fifth line is about impact. It is the fixer. It has natural solutions. The one thing about fifth line is that people will project onto you what they think, and that can be positive. Oh, this guy's got the solution to my problem, or it could be negative. Because when you don't have the solutions to their problems and they thought you did, they kind of throw you in the fire or under
Bum,
the
bum,
bus.
boom. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. It's best to deal with simple practicality. And the wound of the fifth line is guilt.
Mm,
And guilt is healed with forgiveness.
hey.
The shadow sides of the fifth line can be tyranny, deafness, or self delusion. And that brings you down to the purpose sphere. The purpose sphere is two different things. It's the ending of the first set of teachings, which is called the Golden Path, and it's the beginning of the second teachings, which is the Venus sequence. The Venus sequence is all about relationships, how you love, and what made you you, your childhood development. But purpose doesn't mean what you do, it means what you are. Does that make sense? It's what you're to be.
What am what am I
And
doing?
the fifth line is a voice, and it's all about frequencies. The gift there that you have is magnetism. And the purpose in relationship on the positive side is a leader, on the shadow side is victim. So being aware of that, you said this, so I feel that. It's your fault, I feel this. No, they said that. It's your choice how you respond. When you're responsible for your feelings and your life and circumstance, you're not a victim. Does that make sense? All right. The next sphere is called the sphere of attraction in the Venus sequence. And it's the only place you have a sixth line. Now, a sixth line is, it actually has three parts. From ages 0 to 30, it's actually a 3. So it's about trial and error. From ages 30 to 50, it's like touch the hot stove, ooh, it burnt me. Touch the hot stove, ooh, it burnt me. Once you get up past 30, it's like, maybe I won't touch the hot stove. And then when you get up into age 50 and above, you get to be the master and the teacher. So you're teaching others, hey, don't touch the hot stove. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So your gift there is resolve. And that is what is the attractive energy about you. So it's going to be different at different times in your life. But the gift is always going to be resolve. I don't go into what the shadows are, and I'll give you a link that if you want to further, you know, understand more of this, you can dive deep into it. And the first part of the course is free if you want to take it. The the developmentally it goes backwards. It starts from about age 19 to, well, 7 year cycles, 13, and it's your IQ, your intellect, how you mentally process things. And here you have again a third line. You have a lot of third lines.
Trinity, that's why I'm 369.
Actually, okay, you already know. The third line is the flexible mind, but the flexible mind can also be evasive. And your gift in your intellect is about equality. And backwards from there, so from age 7 to 13, you develop your EQ, which is your emotional intelligence. And you have a third line. All through your development is all third lines. And the third line in the emotional is either sympathetic or apathetic.
I love apathy. Yo, I found out what that word was like maybe 4 years ago. I didn't know what it was, but that
I'm
is my
not even quite
opposite of,
sure I know. Define it for me.
so apathy is the opposite of love, like not giving any fucks about a person to the point where you don't give them positive or negative or neutral. You basically forget about them. Like, yeah, I don't even remember that. So apathy is a dope ass ability when you trying to balance out being a people pleaser.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense in the emotion. And your gift there is competence. I happen to know that one because that is my evolution. And even though they call the highest level of that bounteousness, I call it great abundance. And then from age 0 to 7, you have what's called the SQ, which is your soul intelligence. And again, a third line. It's about pleasure. And in parentheses, it says adventure and understanding. And the gift there is insight. So that makes sense. Now, the vocation and the core wound are the same sphere. The core wound is what you brought into this life in your DNA from your ancestors. And it's the only place you have a first line. That
You
is about depression.
said depression.
Depression. And depression is healed with honesty.
Hey, gotta be authentic in this bitch. Yo, I am so 1000% on authenticity. That's why I'm excited about this learning more and hearing someone else deliver our human design. Like I said, I've read minds a couple times, but being able to hear it and hear your sound in it and also tying it into where you are with yours, I appreciate
Mhm. Well, and the one thing that the fifth line is in your purpose is a voice. kitty, get out of here. Go on.
Yo, I need to know what's this awesome sauce that's going on over here. What is this energy, Tom? Talk to me. Talk to me.
And I'm a voice. I'm a 5-1. So um, when you go into the vocation, what that core wound is it actually turns into your greatest strength, which is about production and originality. And the gift you have there is perseverance.
Hey,
You're a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up.
I would say that's would be true of your ancestors as well.
Shout out to Geronimo. Shout out to the natives. Shout out to the Lemurians, bro. Tom, I'm grateful for this reading. I want you to know. And like I shared this, we would like, this is the thing. I wanted to feel how you read because
Mm-hmm.
I am a feeler, and my ancestors are you feel them. If
Mm-hmm.
you're a feeler, you feel them. You felt them when you was in the room. Um, we definitely want to be able to offer this to our 99ers in a manner where like we have sessions and you break this down to them. And like I said, we provide the platform.
Sure.
I don't know how long you've been doing this, but like I like the way you read energy. And this is the thing about our ancestors. Like you wear your emotions on your skin complexion. That's
For
the thing
sure.
about it. So I enjoy the authenticity and your ability to work with us to reschedule because it was a lot of resistance and contrast in order for us to have this meeting. So
No
the fact
problem.
that you, huh?
Well, I had three people like not show up for them, so I was a little annoyed. I was like,
Hey,
I have to have put in some type of reminder, this calendary system, because I do this. I did one for someone in Scandinavia this morning,
oh, you
and
did?
it fucks with the time zone, so I don't have to figure that out. Well, the last part of it is this triangle at the top. And actually, if it's of interest, this is about prosperity. It's about what gifts you bring to the world. And Richard Rudd is doing a deep dive. I think it starts next month, but there'll be 3, 4,000 people all over the entire globe doing this at the same time with their individual.
Yeah, so
Um,
these are our spaceships. These are how our spaceships connect.
yeah,
The fact that you are, that's what I'm saying. Like one of the dopest things about me, like I've died in this body a bunch of times, but like when I get excited about learning about us, um,
mhm,
it allows us to share messages that everyone won't understand.
yeah.
So yeah. So do you have the date on that Richard Rudd?
I will send you my affiliate link. Do the first part because you can do it on your own and get all of the recordings and stuff. It's free and
Mhm.
it will take you to the description. I don't charge for these. I make a couple dollars if you do buy one of the courses.
Yeah, so
But
I'm gonna
I
share with
haven't
you. Like you're
I
giving
haven't
out.
yet I haven't yet studied the pearl part of it, so I
Mhm.
kind of give you some knowledge of what the lines are. But as far as the culture and the pearl, I really don't know because I haven't studied it yet.
And the dopeness about it, your value that you offer for being able to dive in this. One, giving people this information automatic, it puts up a lot of merit. And the fact that you do want to help a lot of our ancestors and you want to help a lot of our I genuinely feel your authenticity and how you deliver the charts. Like I grew up in magic, so that means I grew up with a lot of readings and reading of energies. No matter what chart it is, you're just reading the energies of the choices of the vessel that's in front of you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can be either one of, I could be the self and not self at the same time. if I
Right.
know that is the vibration and frequency that I can tune in. Or like how you said with the stars, I can act like a fire sign, like an Aries, or I can act like a water sign. So it's being able to know thyself, you're able to operate the vehicle. So
Right.
me and Mahatma, my business partner, my divine reflection, um, she was in the room. She's the reason that break open to awareness was there. Our goal is to connect with 99 of y'all, uh, people like you that
Cool.
like realize their purpose and actually be able to integrate in the next 36 months. Because like you getting the feelings, you're getting the downloads. My goal is to make sure that our children have like access to information or
Hmm.
just the gems and a new set of safe spaces because the information you're sharing is very stimulating.
I did something called the Black Table Talk with some. And my question was why is this, even though this is not a mainstream knowledge, and it doesn't matter what religion you are because it fits, you can be Buddhist, Catholic, whatever, Jewish, it's still the same.
It's numbers and
And it doesn't
pathways.
affect religion. But
Mhm.
what's the deal? Why are so few Native American people, people of color, and especially in the United States, why are they not getting it? So we did a whole discussion about that. I'll send you a link to it. It's one person from the US who's into human design. He's sort of a high end coach. A friend of mine from Africa, another friend from the UK. So it gives a very different view. And then a younger person who really didn't know what any of it was about. He was just uh, wanted to find out. So,
Finding
well,
space.
the last piece of your puzzle are both line twos. And the one thing I do know of line twos is that they're a mirror. In me you see. Or my purpose actually sphere is intimacy. So it's
And
into me you see.
absolutely.
And your line two in your culture is about partnerships. The gift is idealism. In the pearl, it's about recognition, and perseverance is the gift. Now, did perseverance come up twice?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's what you brought here from your ancestors.
Yeah, that's why we
So
here to
that
seed
has
and
to do
multiply.
directly with
Oh, yeah.
what gift you bring to this world from this body.
I got 99 problems, but a leader ain't one. Like that's what I'm saying. Every leader has to be able to persevere through something. No
Absolutely.
matter how old or young you are. So I've been on this journey for about 10 years consciously, and
Right.
like I just ended a 9 year cycle. So this is my 10th year. So we cleared out a lot of space so that we can have room for this knowledge. You ask why people don't have it because there was tons of contracts and agreements and spells and veils placed over anybody that looked like us, and then we start casting them upon ourselves. So now the
Mhm.
veils are coming down, and we still got to deal with that generational curse. So that's why things like what Mahatma and I provide, safe spaces where
Mhm.
people can transmute those. And that's what Clubhouse is. It offers an opportunity where our spaceships can align. We're like,
Right.
oh, yo, you got a spaceship too? Oh, yo, Clubhouse just added the wave button. Oh, it's a wrap. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
Because
I
like,
totally found you intuitively. That
and that's what that knowledge does. It stimulates. So if you don't have much baggage, you can just float into the vibrations in and out.
right.
So one, thank you for sharing some things I didn't know about myself. And then also reminding me of some things with that perseverance aspect and allowing my business partner to hear. She can't unhear that.
Right.
Even though I have the chart and I could send it, like allowing this Trinity to message, allowing this Trinity to unveil. It was pretty dope. I greatly appreciate it. I definitely greatly appreciate it. And can you send me your email? I have your email, right? Is that email on the Calendly? Can I reply to that?
I think so. Let me
Or
stop
send me
the
your
let
email
me
just